everyone.
I'm Tracey.
And I'm Carol.
And we are My Outlander
Purgatory. or as I'm always dying to hear Tobias Menzies say someday in our dreams, Purgatory.
He wouldn't say it that way. I keep telling you, he would say Purgatory.
Well, fine. Then say it.
Yeah, Purgatory. Oh.
How do we get Tobias Menzies to say Purgatory?
He could record like a little intro to the I want to call it a podcast. We have to call it, I don't know what this is. Our show. It's our show.
Our show.
How are you?
Me?
Yeah. No, I'm talking
or
to,
them.
You know, this.
How are you guys?
How are you guys? What are you
Well,
drinking
I'll
this
tell you
evening?
how I am. I'm empty.
Yeah, I think you need to pour it again.
It's a cheap night.
Oh,
I shouldn't diss on the Cabot, man. Cabot's good. Cabot's good. Way cheaper than the Santa Margarita.
You know what? It like I think what you said last week was like fine. It suits it serves its purpose.
I believe I said
its thing.
It gets the job done.
It gets the job done. Schlanjama.
Slanja.
I'm drinking Clos de Bois Chardonnay, which I really like. It's pretty good. You know, it's pretty standard, but whatever. So episode 12, Lallybroch, oh, Lallybroch.
Cue up the notes. Getting the notes going.
Up the notes. Yeah, pretty much 2 pages of notes again tonight.
Oh my god.
So overall impressions of Lallybroch.
So much. I don't want to say so much better than the book because I feel like I'm dissing Diana, and that really makes no sense since she invented it.
She put it on the map, so to speak.
I believe that it's because I'm a very visual person. I really, for me, having it visual in front of my face, you know, and that's not to say that my own imagination, I'm contradicting myself because I always feel like your imagination is going to be so much better than anything that you're seeing. But at the same time, oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
I mean, I was, if you'll recall, the first time I read Outlander, I wasn't, you know, how can you not love Lallybroch? But I was a little bit, not let down, but it was, I certainly wouldn't ever say boring, but it's a lull. It's a bit more of a, you know, it's calm during Lallybroch.
Right.
And I was sort of like, I remember being like a little annoyed, like, you know, Jamie's been like in such adoration of Claire up until now, and Claire's been like everything, and now all of a sudden they get to Lallybroch and he's got so many other things going on that Claire's just sort of like in the background. And I think that when you read it in its first person, you're kind of like, what about me? You know? So when I read it, I remember being like, oh, you loved it. And I was like, Lallybroch, you know, it's great, but whatever. The second time I read it, I remember appreciating the comfort of home and appreciating it so much more. But when they announced there was going to be a series, I've always said, what's it going to be like when they get to Lallybroch? How am I going to feel then when I watch it on TV? And holy cow, boy, I had no idea that I was going to be so smitten with this episode.
This episode to me was like Lallybroch. It was like nothing really happened. Like, really? Like, you know, I was telling you before we started this, it was almost hard to take notes because it wasn't like, and then, you know, this happened, and this led to this, and this led to this, da-da-da-da-da-da. It was like a lot of little scenes, but it was just so, yeah, it was so comforting and just so, like, you just love being there. You love being at Lallybroch.
Yeah.
Plus, I have to just watch it again, one watch just for, because I live in a house, my house is 120 years old, so, you know, the whole, like, with an eye to, like, old stuff, I have to watch it again just for that, like, just for, like, you know, I saw a couple chairs and stuff, but I've only watched it twice, so I've been actually paying attention to the dialogue and the characters and stuff, but I need to do a watch just for, like, the furniture.
I feel like I am going to be skipping around a lot, so I apologize right now, but, like, when you just said that, I thought of Jamie when they were at night in the bedroom, and he's I think it was at night, and he's talking about how his father's blood and sweat and tears are in this house and in the land, and then he says how his father's buried in the kirkyard, and I'm just like, oh wow, like I was so, then the tears started again. I mean, this was
a teary episode. I don't think we really said, I loved this episode. I thought it was great. I thought
I had to get up last night 10 minutes in, not even, and run and get these.
I didn't cry till a very specific part, but we'll get to that. But I might have cried harder than at Stones.
And that's what I'm saying about me. Here's me, who was never really that enamored of Lallybroch. I always loved it, and I felt the comfort of it, but I was never as so taken with Lallybroch. Let's just jump in so I can tell you what I have to say.
All right. Lallybroch's episode 12. The writer is Anne Kenny, and she's awesome, as are all the writers. So, okay, our Easter egg. We can't call this week's Easter egg the Easter egg, because did you recognize it at all?
Did I recognize the quote-unquote Easter egg? Mm-hmm. You mean just the dogs laying by the fire?
It's the Christmas egg, because it's totally the Yule log footage. Now, I will admit, all right, y'all have to understand, and I don't know if you have this everywhere. In the New York City area, it's a huge tradition for like a local station, a local TV station on Christmas to have the Yule log.
Everybody has the Yule log.
Really? Online. I just thought that was a New York thing. That was like a WOR Channel 9 thing.
Online, there's like I remember turning it on YouTube and playing it for you could play it for like 10 hours straight or something.
And like it has like good Christmas carols and stuff on it. So like sometimes, maybe like when you're making breakfast on Christmas morning, you'll have the Yule log on or whatever. But Outlander had a Yule log this year. And so, we do put the Yule log on. So I was like, oh, well, I'm going to put on Starz and see what the Yule log is for Outlander. And it was all that footage. It was all the footage of that fireplace with the dogs. And, like, the dogs would kind of, like, sit around, and then maybe, like, one of them would, like, walk out of the frame. And I think they had, like, some, like, Scottish, Gaelic, Yuletide music, whatever. But it was totally the Yule log scene. Like, all the raw footage just looped together. So, today's Easter egg, which I just loved. I mean, it was just so, like, comforting,
Sorry.
For home.
That starts right there, my shocker, because I did not picture Lallybroch the way it was.
Well, before we get to that,
I thought we were still at Leoch when I saw that.
Oh, really? I
was like, why are we back at Leoch? Because I pictured Lallybroch so much more simple than that.
Well, it was kind of simple, though. I mean, it was pretty homey. It was like smaller, It wasn't like stark and...
The decor was very ornate. I did not picture that at all.
I think that
all those wallpapers, all the wallpapers and tapestries, and
oh my God, those were gorgeous. How about the one in their room? Was it in their room? No, it was the dining room. The dining room.
Yeah. I did not ever expect any of that.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So we get the Easter egg, and then I have to say that opening shot, I just have written down spectacular.
It was like, quick, honey, get the travel site on, book a trip to Scotland.
No, that's what I said. Like, I bet you, like, the Scottish Board of Tourism right now is like, Slangivar, Ronmore. We owe you a big fat whiskey.
The phone lines are lighting up like Jerry Lewis.
I gotta tell you, that opening shot rivals the opening shot of Sound of Music for me.
Oh, God.
Which is, like, saying something. And you gotta know that was probably, like, the one, like, they had a budget for probably, like, one big helicopter tracking shot, and that was it. And, like, money well spent, people. Money well spent production.
You have to go. You have to go because you have to feel what you're seeing. In Scotland, it's so amazing to see, but it's the feel of all of it that is just beyond understand.
So great. I mean, I just couldn't. I mean, and I still haven't watched it on the big HGTV upstairs in my TV room. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I did.
I can't wait. I can't figure out how to get my iPad to hook up to the TV, but whatever.
You mean you didn't watch it on the massive TV that you bought the display model at Costco and rolled it out without a box?
No, I didn't do that.
I did.
I loved, did you notice this, how, like, the theme music sort of kept going through the Easter egg, I mean Christmas egg, but then kept going, like, in a little simpler form into the opening big, huge...
Yes.
Oh, it was so great. It was so great.
We are never finishing, and I have 45 minutes, so we really need to hurry up.
Yeah, no, we might have to do this in 2 parts then, because there's a lot to say.
We might need to do it in 2 days.
I know, right? Okay, so then they have this little, like, you know, couple minutes of just, like, talking about the future and stuff. And they have, like, Claire's telling Jamie about airplanes, and I just loved it. I did
too. I did too. I loved her talking about the future. I was like, all right, now we're going to get to the fun conversation and the fun dialogue in this show.
Yes, and he's like, you can tell he's like a little kid. He's like, I mean, in the books, she actually says that, like, he really, you know, he really doesn't have a concept of, like, what, you know, airplanes to him are like big flying birds in the air.
Right.
He doesn't get it, but, like, he's just so, like, excited by it and, like, thinks it's, like, so amazing to even think about it.
Right.
That's, like, a really fun part of the book. So, they see Lallybroch.
Hang on. So he asked her how old she is.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering if we were going to get to that.
Yeah. But he didn't seem to make it that big a deal about it. In fact, I like that he made the joke about it rather than, you know, like, oh, that's really weird or whatever.
Yeah.
So then they see Lallybroch. He's like, there it is.
Yeah, and I'm like, and like a typical man, he parks the horse so far away.
I know, and they gotta. Well, no,
I see this, and I'm like, are you gonna leave the horse there and make her walk?
No, but you know what I think that is? I think because they had to stop at the Highlands We Dod so Claire could get a cut and a new perm.
Oh, yeah. Did you see his hair was all wet and curly? It must have been so humid and misty that day when they did that.
I think that maybe those first couple minutes were shot, like, way later on. Because, I mean, her hair, like, there was no perm left in her hair.
Yeah, but his hair was not...
His hair never changes. That's what's weird.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And that's in my notes, and we're going to discuss it.
Okay. Right.
Because now I'm getting all confused as to what his hair was doing at certain times. But
it's a little different when he's flashing back. But
right.
Okay. All right. So Lallybroch, gorgeous. Yes, they get there. Claire sees wee Jamie. You know, Jenny comes out, or as she will henceforth be known by me, the Scottish Anne Hathaway.
I didn't see that.
Really?
No.
I couldn't get
I'll tell you what I did see, and Starz and Ron and Sony and everyone, don't get mad at me. I did see that she's teeny tiny compared to his hugeness.
I know what you're going to say.
And it made me really happy for a second or two.
Oh, yeah. No,
I'm sorry. Don't
I love that too. I mean, she's tinier than Anne Hathaway, but she just, like, I couldn't get it out of my head.
It just reminded me of all the times you heard that Jamie was a good head taller than Claire.
I liked the two of them together. And
how big Jamie was, yeah. All right,
so
they start getting into it. I mean, we don't need to repeat. Everybody's seen it, so we don't need to get...
Right, but we need to talk about Jenny.
All right, well, my comment is... And again, if she did, there wouldn't be a story. But my comment right away is, oh, for the love of God, just tell him he's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, he's sitting there like, oh, Randall's bastard, and oh, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, okay, Randall's bastard. I'm like, oh, just tell him he's wrong. Don't sit here and make him wonder until Ian comes out.
Yeah, I don't know. That didn't bother me. I think she was so mad that he would even think it, that she...
And say he was shamed. She shamed him. He thinks she gets raped and she shames him.
Wait, so you just want her to like, you know, correct him right there?
Well, I just feel like it's a cat and mouse thing.
I also think that she's so like stunned by this. Like, she doesn't know what to think. I mean, she had no idea that that's what he thought all the time.
Right.
You know, so to see
So I would have this need to say, that's not what happened. Like, immediately I would have a need to say, no, you're wrong. That's not what happened.
But, like, don't forget, you're processing the fact that you haven't seen him in 4 years. The only reason you knew he was coming was that you got his trunk from Mrs. Fitz, which we also need to discuss.
Why didn't he send word?
I mean, I guess he sort of did. I don't know how.
She said, gone 4 years and no word from you.
Oh, because. Because.
Because
he thought that she like shamed him, or, you know, went with Randall, was now pregnant with his bastard, and he couldn't face her. He was like too disgusted by the whole thing.
By
Plus,
himself?
there was the whole price on his head thing, but that was why.
Disgusted by himself because he's the reason that she had to do this?
And the fact that she would, in his mind, that she would do that. Yes, read the book. It's all there. It's all there. It's all there.
Because I can't remember, did he think that she willingly?
Well, willingly to save him. But then I think that she like, I don't know, maybe I forget. Did he think that she, like, you know, I think he did think that she sort of became his, like, concubine or whatever.
Oh, see, I have to go back and read again.
Yeah. But that's why. That was the big reason. Okay, so then, you know, so Jamie and Jenny go at it. Jenny at one point, you know, Claire tries to intervene, and Jenny's like, yeah, back the F up, bitch.
Well, that's not until they get into the house.
No. That was outside. In
fact, she calls her a trollop.
The trollop, yes.
Yes. Now, at this point, I have started tearing up because of Jenny, and I'm in shock. And I'm going, I'm not the big Lallybroch person, so why am I like this? It came over me out of nowhere. I couldn't believe it. I was like, me?
Really?
So keep going.
That's really funny.
I wasn't running for the tissues yet, but I was tearing up. Keep going.
All right, so then Ian shows up. And
then I was running for the tissues.
Really?
Ian came out with the wooden leg and started talking, and it was like, you know, this is going to sound silly, but they say that there's some things that yoga instructors can do. There's certain poses and stuff they can do to you that'll bring it out, like bring the tears out if you really need to, whatever. That's how I felt. It came out of nowhere, and I'm watching with Tom, and I'm like, and I go running for the tissues. I mean, for me to walk away from the TV when Outlander's on, I go running for the tissues, and I mean, I don't want to say hysterical, but the tears are streaming.
Yeah, they were not streaming for me.
Ian Murray.
I mean, not at that point. The leg was very cool, very well done. I didn't even. Again, I have to watch it like 5 times because I think of all these things that I want to, like. I'm still like going back and watching parts of the last episode. To see
I have written down. Is that Ian or Tom Cruise?
Oh my God! Yes, I agree. I see it. I definitely see it. It's Tom Cruise and Anne Hathaway. I love them both. I think like the casting is spot on. You know, we'll get into it more about like from the first line of theirs, of each of them. They just wonderful casting.
They were perfect, and I have to say that the argument was different than it was in the book. Like, she just came out and said, "Do I have to do to you what I used to do when you were younger?" Mm. And the argument was different. It was outside. It wasn't in the house, and blah 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 blah. But, you know, and in the book, Claire kind of went back outside by herself because she was like, "Oh, I'm not going to get in," you know. And I felt like it was way more in the book, but they got the angst down perfectly.
Yeah.
It didn't matter that it was different because they made you feel that uncomfortable Jenny feeling. Yeah.
I loved when Jenny calls Claire a trollop and Jamie goes, "She's my wife." I was like, "Woo, whoa, Mom needs a little like, woo, woo. That was great. That was just a great move on his part. So, you know, yelling and screaming. Yeah, all of these notes are like little bitsy of things, but love how Champ reacts to image. I have no idea what that means. He reacts to image. Or reverts to image. Oh, through this whole episode, it was very cool how, like, you know how you can be a grown-up and have your own family and, like, you know, a job and this and that. But, like, boy, oh boy, when you go to your parents' house, you are that kid. You are that, like, you know, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, 16-year-old that lived with your parents. And, you know, do you know what I mean? And I found that interesting because you saw it happen with Jamie. In some ways, Jamie was... Do you agree with me? I mean, and it sort of gets, I think, a little bit...
It's not that I disagree. It's that I don't really feel... Maybe if we still could go to Paoli.
No, I mean, I do. I feel like...
Our parents retired and moved.
To a certain degree, you when you're with your parents, I think, you kind of see yourself through their eyes a little bit. Or there's certain expectations sometimes. And I think that to a certain degree is... I mean, later on, what Claire gets at, and that, like, you know, you're a different person. You know,
or your mother still treats you like you can't make your own sandwich.
We love you, Patar.
I was just gonna say, love you, Mom. Like Robert De Niro.
But I thought, like, that's sort of a running theme through this whole episode. Like, you know, Jamie returns to Lallybroch and he's killed telling everybody, you know, I'm the Laird, I'm, you know, whatever. But, like, I think it's interesting seeing him sort of reconcile this person that he's become outside of that world with this person that he was while he was in that world.
Right.
Sort of who gets, like, mashed out in the end.
Right.
Kind of interesting. Okay. So
they go in the house and they sit down.
So the chest from Castle Leoch. I mean, that's...
Okay. First of all, I have down that Ian, when he takes the leg off, and you can see it's, like, paining him. And all I could say was, I'm sure Claire has a salve for that.
All I know is I hope that Leary did not pack up this trunk at Leoch, because that'd just be some bad news right there.
Leary might be in the trunk.
That'd be one of those things where you open the trunk and, like, you know, the snakes pop out. I don't know. I mean, Mrs. Fitz sent it, so, like, Leary might have been like, oh, Grandma, you know, can you go make me a cup of tea over there? And sneak in a few more ill wishes.
And packed it with a skunk.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was, but that does, so what it tells you is, you know, I guess Ned made his way back to Castle Leoch and was like, yeah, basically they're out of here. I guess you can, like...
Yeah, because how do they even know where they were going, but I guess they assumed.
Send it to Lallybroch, you know, no forwarding address, whatever.
Right. Now they start talking about what Jenny tells the story about what happened to her.
Okay.
And I have...
Fest.
When they're thinking back to Jamie being flogged and he passes out with his arms outstretched, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, there have been a couple episodes where I've seen this, like, you're gonna laugh, like this Jesus parallel with...
Oh my God, yes! Oh my, I can't believe you said that. No, I am not laughing. In fact, I am like this.
Okay, good. You know, that is really, I didn't see it while I was reading, but they're, you know, I don't know if it's intentional, but it's happening. When he passed out like this, I was like,
I'm gonna stick this image in this video, so you guys will see it. Carol, you can't, because I would have to, like, find it, and it would take a long time, but... No, I'm not laughing at all, because it's reminding me of something that I've been meaning to, like, tweet for ever since we went to Barcelona about a month ago, I guess, on vacation. And I've been meaning to tweet this picture forever. If anybody has been to Barcelona or knows it, like our friend Julie, there's a place called the Sagrada Familia. That's like a temple, cathedral that's been being built for, you know, a billion years. But it's really cool because they have all of these statues and artwork sort of all over the front of it. And there's one statue of, like, you know, like basically they have the Stations of the Cross almost on it. And it's like Jesus sort of like holding a pillar or whatever. I will put a photo of it in this video. I looked at that and I was like, holy shit, it's Jamie. I know it's totally like sacrilegious.
See,
whatever,
I'm laughing
like,
too. I'm laughing and I said it, but like you're in Spain looking at this amazing thing and it's supposed to be Jesus and you're seeing Jamie Fraser.
I totally was seeing Jamie Fraser. Totally. And it is supposed to be Jesus. And if it's sacrilegious, sue me. Oh, well.
No, I don't think it's sacrilegious at all.
I thought the same thing.
You're seeing parallels, that's all.
Mm-hmm. So we need to talk through this whole Jenny remembrance because going back to so you didn't notice the color thing at all. It was a little Schindler's List. I mean, I get it, but it was most effective for me with the blood on his fingers. That was just a creep-alicious.
When he wait, did you just jump to Randall being upstairs with Jenny?
Yes, but that's where we are now, right?
Okay.
And we might be burying the lead here, but
okay.
But let's just talk through before you.
I have Randall's. I have Randall's bloody finger in her mouth was so disgusting. I didn't know what to do with myself.
I know.
And I have Tobias Menzies scares me now. Genuinely frightens Carol. And then I have this to date is the scariest thing he has done.
Absolutely.
Am I wrong?
You are not. All right, here's what I have.
And the
Randall
camera, they linger.
Fest. Blood on fingers. Creep fest.
They linger on him doing that. They loiter. They sit there. You can't.
And it's all one shot. Oh my god!
All one shot, and you as the viewer can't get away from him any better than Jenny.
I know.
You're stuck there watching it, being uncomfortable, not being able to look away, being really upset and creeped out and freaked out, and you can't get away from him.
I know. It almost made me wonder, you know, going back to the, like, red of the redcoats, like, it was a little Schindler's List to me, and I was like, all right, you know, it's a little obvious the redcoats are red because they're bad and everything.
Right.
But then we got to that, and I was like, you know what? If that's why they did it to begin with, so that you could get this, the only thing popping is his red coat and the Jamie's blood on his fingers.
Ugh.
Fine. I'm fine with it. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. Because that was creep-alicious.
I was so totally, that to me is the worst thing he's done. It was so awful.
Bravo. I mean, if that's Ann Kenny that came up with that, bravo. I
would like to know. So if anybody knows.
Well, you know, they'll probably talk about, Ron will probably talk about it on his podcast.
Because that might be just something that Tobias just did. And I'd really like to know.
Because he would have had to be, like, they would have had to put that on in makeup. Like, you know, he would have had to prepare for that. So it's not like he just, like, made the choice to do that.
All right, I gotcha.
If it was the director, I don't know, I forget who you are, but you are a sick F.
The Caro syrup.
Let's just say that right now.
I mean, and it wasn't even like this. It was like, and then...
Oh, because he was, like, gagging her.
And she's going, and he's like, it's okay, like... And then he starts with this, and then he starts to pull it out, and he goes... I'm like...
You may not be able to watch the rest of the show. Okay, anyway, so we go in the bedroom.
Move along.
We go in the bedroom, and what do we get there? that, you know, you knew what he was doing, but then you were just like, wait a minute. Did they just show what I think they showed? Wait, wait. Rewind that. I will just show you what is on my paper right now.
Okay, I can't get this any bigger. But
I'm not gonna be able to see it because wait, I can't see it. But well, maybe I will be able to when this is.
Is that a prosthetic peen?
I literally.
You know how they have like the butt double?
Yes.
I was like, did they have a double?
I cannot wait for Ron Moore's podcast to hear about the prosthetic peen. I cannot wait.
I think that was all.
No way. No way. No way. No way.
He would suffer for his art.
No way. No way.
And immediately, what did I think? Oh, it's gonna be a good Tobias Tuesday.
Oh my God. I dare you to make that still Tobias Tuesday.
I dare myself. What, are you kidding me?
That was like, I really did. I was like, what?
Twice.
And then I watched it the first time on my iPad, and I went back and I got like the actual screenshot, and I was gonna like take a picture of the screen and text it to you, but I was afraid of you getting that text. I was afraid you'd pull up that text like in a really embarrassing situation.
Tracey, twice. First, a little of this. And then again.
Oh my God. All I know is the Outlander prosthetic department. I mean, we thought that you couldn't top, you know, the Galis's belly.
I don't think.
Oh, you topped yourself, but good.
I do not think so. If every girl on there, with the exception of Leary and Mrs. Fitz, has been.
Oh, Carol, it's not. No.
So we can show this, and they were all real, but not this?
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to go here, but.
Breaking laws?
Well, no. I mean, like, porn, but. No. Okay. For example, later on, we get a full on.
Yes, we did.
Even though the parts are hidden, but like the trail is not. The trail appears. But I really do think that, like, I think that if you see him actually you know, being active, I kind of think it does go a little into like into kind of porny illegally. I don't know. I mean, but plus
and he was not active.
But like the whole point, Carol, was like, oh my God, I cannot believe. No, I don't even know that I can discuss
the whole point is that he can't.
Right. But do you really think Tobias Menzies can't?
But they didn't show him doing that. It's a matter of what they show.
Wait a minute. Now I'm confused. Oh, are you... Wait, now I'm confused.
As long as they don't show it... Bing.
Well, yeah, but the point is, it didn't... If Tobias Menzies, the actor, was sitting there, you know, doing that, like, for 72 takes, it's gonna.
I think that as long as it's not... And then it's... Oops, hang on a minute, cut. I think as long as it's not being shown in that type of a way, I think you're okay.
I'm sorry. I know.
This is a fascinating...
I know Tobias Menzies is a fantastic actor. Tobias Menzies can do just about anything. I have a feeling Tobias Menzies will do just about anything. Tobias Menzies is not going to, you know...
Why? If Daniel Radcliffe will get on stage totally...
Yeah, but he's not, like, you know, on stage.
Yeah, but he really was...
That's the porn version.
There was a whole heck of a lot. It's not... I will not do that hand gesture. I will not do that on camera.
Is that why you're going like this?
I was about to just do a full-on... But... He wasn't doing full-on.
No, it is a...
All right.
The other thing is, it was cut, you didn't see his face. I mean, you saw his face when he was like this, but then when they went to the close-up, you didn't see his face. It's prosthetic, trust me.
Okay. I don't know.
My God.
I have no idea. So if we find out, oh yes, it was some stunt double and they... If we find out it was prosthetic, if we find out if it was some stunt double named Bruce, you are not to jump up and down and tell me you were right and I was wrong. Because I am saying I'm saying I don't know.
If I find out that Tobias Menzies really did
Tracey, can't you just let us have this? Can't you let all the Tobias Menzies fans out there just...
All right. I think it was a prosthetic. I don't think it was Tobias Menzies. I don't think it was his porn stunt double.
I don't think anything. I'm pondering all of this.
Oh my God. I'm starting.
All right, keep going.
All right. So anyway, I mean, that whole sequence was just fabulous. Fabulous. Tobias Menzies, Laura Donnelly, you already got your Emmys. Like, Laura Donnelly, you've been on screen for 5 minutes and we're giving you Emmys, all right?
Okay.
There you go. So they're going back and forth. Claire steps in a little bit, like, you know, Jenny's like, yeah, Jamie, you didn't apologize yet. And Claire's like, yeah, Jamie, you didn't apologize yet. Jamie's really pissed. That was a little odd.
I have written down, OMG, I feel bad for Claire, just like I did in the book, but for different reasons. Like, in the book, I felt like Claire was just so, like, ignored. I won't be ignored, damn.
I'm not going to be ignored.
Claire was just so, they walked in, and bam, Jamie and Jenny, and Claire was like, I'm going to go outside, just check out the outside Lallybroch. And so I felt bad for her, because I felt like all the attention, like Jamie was enamored of her, through the whole, up until this point, the book, and then they get to Lallybroch, and Jamie's like, yeah, Claire, I'll deal with you later, whatever. And I had this sick feeling in my soul, like, I just blew off my time for you, and now that I've blown off the 20th century, now you're kind of ignoring me. Like, that's how I felt reading it. And so I'm watching this last night, and I'm thinking, I have the same uncomfortable feeling, but it's not that she's being ignored, it's that she's being reprimanded.
Yeah.
And I felt really, on the one hand, I felt really bad for Claire, like I did in the book, and on the other hand, I'm like, Claire, shut up.
I know. Well, Claire needs to shut up. Claire needs to
Tracy,
hit the shut up button.
I actually, shoot, where is it? I have it written down. Somewhere in here. Oh, this is the "Oh Claire, shut up" episode. It's the truth. So keep going. So yeah.
I did love Jamie has that line that Jamie. I mean, Sam rocked it. Sam home run for Sam Heughan again, 2 in a row, baby. He hit it out of the park with that line about like, yeah, no, I don't think anybody like thinks that you're gonna like. What does he say? She's like, you know me better than that or whatever. He's like, yeah, no, I don't think anybody's going to tell you not to do that. Like,
right. Well, You mean when he was talking about Colum and what's Colum's wife's name? Letitia or something?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah. That helps.
Jamie does a great job of explaining to Claire and getting through to her that he wears the pants, at least at Lallybroch.
He wears the pants in public.
And he's kind, and he uses analogies, and he could have taken her in that room and yelled and screamed at her, but he didn't. He went in there and he was bold and he was kind of angry, like Claire, but he explained himself. Right. And I think he's already learning from after the spanking episode how to get through to Claire. Claire is a very logical person. You have to use logic and reason if you want to get through to Claire.
Right. And, kind of like he was saying, like, look, I'm asking this in public, And that's where the Letitia thing came in. It's like, you watch her in a public setting and she's very deferential, whatever, but there's been many pots broken in that house, in that behind closed doors.
My girl needs to mind her business.
Well, all right, we'll get there. Okay, so I'll try to move this along because it's just so many little cute, awesome details.
But I also have that Jenny should mind her manners.
Jenny should mind her manners.
Jenny made that comment about something about English. Oh, how you feel about the English or something. And then Claire was like, could I have some water to wash? And I was at that point, once again, I'm feeling bad for Claire. And I'm thinking, you know what? I get it. We all get it. This is your house and this English woman comes in and you've been through a lot. But you know what? This English woman's been nothing but kind to you. So show her some respect and mind your manners.
Yeah. Yeah, I have written down, Jenny, bitch or no?
That's a big fat yes, but I love her. She's a lovable.
I do. I think she's being sort of unduly mean to Claire.
She didn't seem as feisty as she did in the book. She just seems like a bitch.
She's probably 8.5 months pregnant. It can't be pleasant.
Been there, done that, yes.
So there you go. So, we'll forgive her, whatever. And so Jamie and Claire, excuse themselves and go up to wash. And then Jamie tells the whole story about his father. And that was just awesome. It was just every bit of it was just awesome.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think that this happened beforehand. When she said, so you're staying, yeah, that's when it happened. Aren't you at this point sort of nervous every time Claire opens her mouth and kind of confused as to what's going to set Jamie off and what's not? What she's supposed to shut her mouth and be the good wifey about and what she's supposed to, what it's okay if she says something. Because I don't know what's going to not set him off, but you know what I mean. And so how does she know, when it's okay to speak up and when it's not? When she offered up the info that they were still waiting for Sandringham, but that they were hopeful, I was cringing because I thought, she's doing it again. Did you feel that way at all?
A little bit, I guess.
Because Jenny said, so you're staying. And he was like, well, she said, there's a price on your head. And he was like, well, I'm hoping Sandringham's going to help with that. And then Claire pipes up and says, well, it hasn't come through yet, but we're still hopeful. And I'm like, shh.
I guess it didn't bother me quite as much. See,
didn't bother me. It scared me that, oh God, is he going to get mad at her for not knowing her place? I don't know what her place is supposed to be,
I guess I didn't think he was going to be as mad, and it goes to, sort of more towards the end where, my other question is, was Claire justified for beating up on Jamie figuratively and being you need to get over your bad self? But that's later on. That's later on.
You need to get down with your bad self.
You need to get over your bad self. And we have lots to talk about still. So moving on. All right. So yeah, the whole Jamie last time he saw his dad, now that was a little eyeful for me. Yeah.
I said, oh my God, the tears again. And then it started all over again. When he talked about his father being buried.
Yeah. have a little frowny face on my notes. It was just very powerful. The whole, I mean, I don't know if there's anything more to be said about it other than it was just really powerful.
It's like, don't even go there. I don't even want to be silly about that.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. And again, Randall, it's almost anticlimactic because he's so creepy with Jenny that, like, you know, oh, and like, by the by, Jamie, I want to sleep with you.
Right.
Okay.
It was kind of, Jamie's like, yeah, he just was really blunt about it at the end. But I have written down that it, once again, it wasn't quite the bloody fingers, but he's kind to Jamie. And that in and of itself is creepy. Mm-hmm. When he's like, I think you and I got off to a bad start. And you know, it's really going to be painful again if you get flogged again. You were just flogged and there's no way they're going to be able to get back here in time with the pardon or whatever. Right. So, and I'm like, oh my God, listen to how sickeningly sweet he's sounding.
Dude, he can turn it on and off like on a dime. I mean, think back to Garrison Commander.
Right.
Think back to what he was like there. Oh, he's so brilliant. He's so brilliant. And it's not his peen. I can't believe I just said that. Okay. So, yeah. Powerful scene. Moving on. Okay. This made me laugh.
I still have so many notes. Every time I'm doing this, it's because I'm looking at my notes.
I'm on page 2 now. So this made me laugh so hard. Claire... we have to, like, you said there was a drinking game already, because if there's not, we have to make one. Yeah. We have to make one.
I've seen that online.
Claire uses alcohol as a crutch about, like, 72 times in this episode. Like, and this is the best one, where they're at dinner, and it's just Claire and Jamie at the table. I'm sorry, Claire and Jenny.
Right.
And they're like this. And what does Claire do, of course? Like, here, have some wine, Jenny. It just made me, I wrote down... Claire, Jenny, brr, bring on the liquor. It just made me laugh right out loud.
I saw that as Claire trying to show Jenny that she's not afraid to, like, pour her wine and serve her.
Oh, no, I just saw it as, like, yeah, this is really awkward. Maybe if we drink enough, it'll be
right,
over
but Claire pours the wine and Jenny immediately goes into the conversation of, have you ever run a house like this before? I saw it as an olive branch on Claire's part. You know, let me get this for you. She's always, Jenny's always doing everything for everybody else. And I saw it as Claire trying to reach out.
I saw it as Claire feeling really awkward, like being like, let's have a drink. And Jenny picking up on anything, grasping at straws, and being like, oh, yeah, here's another thing she's going to suck at. You know, because Jenny, at this point, I think really has it in for her. And I don't think we've resolved that, you know, by the end of the episode either.
We did, and that bothered me.
It's just the kind of thing where she's protective of her big brother, whatever. Or her... Yeah, it's her big brother.
I have, oh shiz, running a house must be sick work. And then I have, but where do I get the glasses Claire and Jenny are drinking from? They were awesome.
I know. When is the Outlander Pottery Barn collection coming out? Oh my God. I would buy every item on it.
Is that going to be on, like, the official Outlander store? I want those. I stopped and turned to Tom and said, oh, I want those glasses.
I know, right? I would totally get them. I also thought it was interesting that the girls were drinking red and the boys were drinking white. Did you notice that?
No.
I noticed these little details. Okay, anywho. Yeah, and it's so hard to run a household when it's like, hey, Mrs. Crook, go make some Bannocks for me.
Right, but then I thought, you know, I never really stopped to think before about the fact that Claire would have been like at this point, is Claire really sure about what she's getting herself into? I mean, the woman was a combat nurse, and now she's signing on to run a household, you know?
Well, it's interesting that you should say that, because the next thing that happens is it's quarter day, and so the Laird and his lady are, like, meeting all of the people and whatever. And some woman, and they're getting all little gifties. And the woman hands her the vase.
The vase!
And that, again, bravo. If it
was awesome.
And Kenny, if that was you.
And she does this and goes like,
Slangeva to you.
Like,
that was so bloody smart to do that. It was such a great connection to the beginning of the episode. And it said exactly what you're saying, Carol. That, like, you know, be careful what you wish for, in a way. You know?
You just might get it.
Yeah, exactly. It has getting that vase has so many levels.
I really paid attention to that because I didn't pick up on that the first time I watched it. But I did pick up on Claire, like, looking at it. So I was like, what was the deal with that vase? Duh. And then the second time I watched it, I'm like, oh, she's receiving a vase.
That was great. That was so great. It was really, really meaningful.
And I also thought that she was so amazing. What do I have here? She's so good at merely saying hello to these people. She's so welcoming. Oh, hello. Like, she's amazing. She's amazing. That's a Kate Claire thing.
Okay. So then we go and we start collecting the rents. And Jamie is like throwing back a few.
Ian's like, you might not want to be giving everyone their money back.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you know, actually, at this point, I don't know if did you ever see Pippin?
No.
It's kind of reminding me of Pippin a little bit in this. Sam Heughan would have made a good. Am I right? Am I right, people? Sam Heughan would have made a good. I don't know if he sings, but he would have made a good Pippin. Anywho, okay. So yeah, so he's giving back all the rents. Like, you know, you have some rent, whatever. Then we go back outside. And we see Claire holding sort of a Tupperware.
Oh, hang on.
What?
You don't watch it. But the Jamie collecting the rents also gave me a Monarch of the Glen feel. So all of you Monarch of the Glen fans, you will get that.
Someday I'll watch it.
And also at this point was when Tom turned to me and said, if any of you watch Vikings, I no longer want you to refer to me as Ragnar Tombrook. From now on, I want you to refer to me as Laird Tom Turok.
Laird Tom Turok. I love how they say that all. So yeah, so then we go outside and we see Claire's having sort of this Tupperware party with all the like local ladies, but like showing them how to use herbs instead.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
She's like, oh yes, well, Pennyroyal makes a fine blah 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 blah. And then, you know, then we get Robbie McNabb, douche, starts beating up on his kid.
Yeah.
Claire notices, and of course, you know, because, like, being Claire, she has to, like, you know, jump into everything.
Right.
Shuts that down. Now, did you find it believable?
Were you kind of flipping out when she did that? Like, no, Claire, no!
I mean, a little bit, but what my big thing was, like, would Robbie McNabb really say those things to the wife of the Laird? I mean, he's pretty harsh.
Yeah, because he's Robbie McNabb.
I mean, I guess, you know.
He's Robbie McNabb.
Quite frankly, I you know, I didn't mind him getting the shit kicked out of him later on. Sorry, I didn't. We'll get to that, because I have something to say about that.
I didn't.
All right, so yeah, so Robbie Jr., it's Robbie Jr., I guess. You know, he's been getting beat up a lot, whatever. Okay, so, the gathering, it's not the gathering. The quarter day ends, and we get possibly the best moment of the episode. Can we all holla for drunk Jamie? I'm sorry.
I have to tread lightly on this one.
What? Drunk Jamie? Drunk Jamie was so hilarious. First of all, I have to give props to Sam Heughan because it's really difficult to play drunk well, and I thought he did a bang-up job. Do you agree?
Bang-up job because he didn't overdo it.
No.
Loved when he was like, the Laird of Broch, that's me.
And then he smacked her. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I laughed my way through that entire scene.
It was very good. I have to say, you know, I mean, hasn't that ever happened to you?
What, that drunk Jamie has, like, slapped my ass?
Come on, like...
No! When is it gonna happen?
Like, your husband's never come to bed drunk before, and you're like, oh, God.
Well, no. I mean, actually, that's the big difference between the book and the show, is that in the book, drunk Jamie would still be, like, ready for action. You know, in the show, drunk Jamie, like, pretty much is, like, asleep. And Claire's like, oh, drunk Jamie, you're so funny.
I know. When drunk Jamie started being snore Jamie, and she's like this, and goes back to sleep, I'm like, you're not sleeping.
Yeah, that's not how it goes down in the books, people. In the books, drunk Jamie's all hop on pop.
But I'm like, you're not. Forget about like that. You know, they would have been doing other things. But if he really started snoring, does she really think she's sleeping? Because it's just going to get louder and louder and louder until she's going to have to start kicking and pushing.
Do you think Jamie snores like on a normal day?
I think it depends on the humidity. I mean, anybody could snore on a normal day. It just depends on
I don't think he really snores. I think he probably like breathes loud. You know, I think you're aware of him. And don't forget, like they don't have like king size beds over there either.
Are we talking Jamie or Sam?
No, Jamie. I don't care what Sam does. Jamie.
Okay. Oh, I don't have to
Googling, does Jamie snore?
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe I'm not. All right, can we move on? Other than to say, what else do I have about drunk Jamie? Oh, yeah. I had that's me written down too. Like that was so funny. The laird, that's me. That was so funny.
That was just the whole sarcasm of it. I have to say I am married to that. So I turned to Tom and started hitting him and was like, "This is so you. It's not even funny."
I did write down the king of men wouldn't have passed out. Okay.
I also had written down Jamie from the Brock, like Jenny from the Block. Remember Jenny from the Block? Remember that J-Lo song, Jenny from the Block?
Kinda. But like, was it about like getting drunk and passing out?
No, but Jamie from the Brock just came to my mind.
Oh, all right. Okay.
All right, there's a wee gifty that I feel they gave us that I want to mention that seemed like a nothing thing, but I thought it was a big deal. But keep going, because you're not there yet.
Oh, I thought you meant drunk Jamie was a wee gifty, which it totally was.
That was a huge
I'm sorry. That was just the best scene. I loved it so much I couldn't stand it. Okay. So, next morning, Jamie has a bit of a hangover.
Hair dog.
What I wondered, so he's sitting at the table, of this table, like, full of, like, dirty crap. And I'm like, would the servants really be comfortable letting the laird sit, like, in the middle of dirty crap?
I think the servants have been around since the lair was a wee bairn with a dirty diaper.
Because I got the sense that it was like the morning after, and nobody had cleaned up after the quarter day party. And like, I think if you have a house full of servants, like it's gonna get cleaned up. And
yeah, I don't know. I don't
know. That was what I thought. Whatever. But kind of funny. So yeah. So Jamie's pretty hungover. The hell? Yeah, so they figure out, the Bannocks suck because they haven't been able to, what?
The wee gifty.
Okay.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the wee gifty. The way he went, he stood up and he grabbed that Bannock. He was always doing that in the books. Jamie grabbed a Bannock and blah, 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 and I went, oh, this is a wee gifty for us.
See, now I didn't even notice it. That's funny. Because he called it bread, too. I was like, bread? Isn't it bread?
I watched that and said, I don't diet? What? I'm making some Bannocks tomorrow. Absolutely.
So he's like, yeah, you know, this is stupid. Like, forget Davy. I'm going to go fix the mill. King of men that I am. So he goes off to the mill. Claire goes there because she doesn't have anything better to do. He's like, yeah, there's something stuck. I have to fix it.
But first, let me strip. Here, can you hold my pants?
Was he wearing a kilt? No, he was wearing a kilt at that point.
Whatever.
All the better to you know, get naked from the waist
down. That was major gratuitous. We must show you Sam Hewen's behind.
Oh, yeah. But actually, I thought it made sense in the story.
Well, he was like that. He did strip down to his shirt.
Yeah. It actually went down exactly the same as it did.
I also like when they show him in just the shirt. What was the shirt called?
The shirt?
I thought there was a name for it. But I remember that sticking with me when I read it, that the shirts were so long.
Mm-hmm.
That
yeah, I remember that too.
You know, and when they fought and they would just drop their kilts.
Yeah. All right, so he gets in the water. Jenny runs up. Jenny's like, you know, what the hell is he doing? Because, yeah, there's trouble a-brewing. Redcoats show up. And that was a good scene.
I had an issue with this. Would that redcoat have really started to practically disrobe and get in the water and fix it?
Yeah, he did in the book. It's exactly the only difference between how it went down in the book and how it went down in the show was that it wasn't Jenny there. It was Granny McNabb.
I remember it being kind of comical in the book.
Yeah, a little bit.
But you know,
it's suspenseful but comical because, you know, Jamie's naked and the water's freezing and like.
I don't think I was quite so afraid of the English soldiers at that point in the book then because it didn't faze me. But when I saw it happening, I'm like, this guy, why? Like this guy, they treat them like crap. Why is he going to help?
You know, because he's a nice guy. You know, he's like, what's his name, soldier from a while back? The hell did we call him? Like Sergeant Johnny something or other.
Yes, and I liked how Jenny was like to Claire, like, just keep your mouth shut. And she had to.
It's hard.
For once, Claire had to keep her mouth shut. All right, keep going.
All right.
This bugged me, and this is something so stupid that Ron Moore would slap me. Okay, like Claire slapped Leary, but I couldn't. I kept thinking of you too. You know how you are with like get rid of all your emails when I have like you know.
Yes, well, I should explain that. Like, it makes me twitch. I have like an OCD thing about if I have any like on my phone, if I have any numbers, like 2 emails or 3 podcasts or whatever, like that, those numbers make me twitch, literally.
Okay.
I have to get rid of them. So go.
That shirt made me twitch. I couldn't focus on anything but the fact that they were taking Jamie's shirt. There was a shirt stuck in a mill, or so they thought. And he takes the shirt. Oh, it's a perfectly good shirt. And he takes it. And I'm like, that's not your shirt. And I'm like, this is so stupid that it's bothering me, but it's my OCD moment. I can't get away from this stupid shirt. Keep going.
I mean, it wasn't OCD, but like it did weird me out a little bit. I was more like, ew, that shirt's dirty.
Well, back then,
a little stinky. I mean, granted, it's Jamie stink, so it's not really stinky. But
yeah, well, it also was in the water, so it's probably not so bad now. But back then, please, that's what he said. I swear, I think he said a perfectly good.
Yeah, no. I'm sure it was. Okay. It was. And how about like the British guy going like, he's like, it's a shirt. What the hell would a shirt be doing there? And the guy's like, it's Scotland.
Yeah, whatever. All right, we got to wrap this up.
Okay. All right. Then we have the scene with Claire and Ian in the hallway. So great. Stephen Root. I think that's his name. Stephen Root. Bravo.
Yeah, I have that. I love
that scene. Wasn't that scene the scene that was in the book when they meet originally?
Yes. I love the relationship between Claire and Ian already.
I know. Ian's perfect. I mean, he's not at all visually what I had in my head, but personality-wise, exactly. Like,
and it is really true to life, the relationship, you know, that these two people are going to have because they're both married to this brother-sister team, this feisty brother-sister team.
Right.
So they're going to have something in common, and they're going to be the calm ones that sort of cool everything down and keep it all balanced.
Right. Okay. All right. So then Claire goes to the bedroom, knocks Jamie off the bed, and gives him a verbal smackdown. Did Jamie deserve the verbal smackdown? Go.
I was a little afraid of the bodily smackdown when she yanked the thing and he went flying. I was like, here she goes again. She's going to get in trouble. I don't know that he deserved the verbal smackdown, but I think that Claire's like, you know, realizing that he's full of himself and still hasn't set things straight with Jenny. And I think, who knows, maybe I didn't get this, but maybe Claire's thinking in her mind like, you know, your sister's not even accepting me even a little. And perhaps if you were getting along with her, you know, and gave her the apology she deserves, perhaps she'd go easy on me. You know what I mean? Like, your sister and I can't forge a relationship like I'm forging with Ian. Like, Ian and I are developing this relationship, and I can't even get past the wall of Jenny. You need to do something about this for everybody's sake.
So I sort of agree with you. I thought that the verbal smackdown that she gave him was not necessarily deserved. But I like what you're saying, like, so it like, she was basically like, you know, Jamie, you're not, like, being, you know, you're, like, trying to be a laird, and it's, like, not you. Well, it kind of has to be.
Sorry, I don't remember Claire. I don't remember, he wasn't, like, being a big doofus laird wannabe.
No, I mean, like, that's what she, you know, I married Jamie. I didn't marry the laird, you know, Brock Rock. Well, yeah, you did. You know? And I mean, like, for better or worse, he has to figure out, like, who he is as a laird. He does.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, but I do get what you said, that a verbal smackdown is not necessarily unjust, but maybe for a different reason. Like, you know what? The way you're acting is certainly not conducive to being a laird, but it's also not conducive to, like, you know, us starting our life here.
And I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy you've been since we got here, and it's making me uncomfortable.
Well, I think she did say that, but like, I don't know. I think I need to think it over a little more. I don't know. My gut reaction at first was like, whoa, Claire, you're being a little harsh. And I don't know whether that's just because it's Jamie. And, you know,
I didn't think that.
I don't think I thought it either. I thought she was you didn't think she was being a little harsh.
No, I thought he needed that. She was being a good wife and giving him a wake-up call.
I guess.
That's what she's supposed to do behind closed doors.
Oh, that's true, actually. That's true, actually, and I like that point, like, that she, you know, didn't give him this thrashing, like, you know, in front of everyone.
Right. She's learning her place.
I need to watch it again. I think, because...
Okay, so he goes out and sees his father's grave.
Right.
And Jenny comes out, and they have the talk, and Jenny admits that she has been angry with him that his father died because she's been sort of blaming him, thinking he was being a smartass, and Randall, you know, beat him, but that he might have been somewhat, as you would say, deserved of the beating. And once she saw those welts on his back and those horrific scars,
she shot the mill. That was a great scene too.
She realized, oh my God, it all came crashing down on her.
I loved that like, he's, you know, like, oh my God, you know, go, you know, close your eyes, you know, or else I'm gonna, like, freeze to death. And she, like, so he's sort of like, not joking, but, like, you know, not doesn't realize the significance of what she's looking at.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And she says how ashamed I thought she was brilliant in that.
That whole scene, I have to tell you, I think I cried harder than the Stones.
Yeah.
The two of them were so good. It was just perfect. That scene was just note perfect.
And the second time I watched it, that's where I ended. What happens after that?
Well, I do have to say, the other thing I wrote down, which I think is very interesting, and they just don't really do it ever, and I see why, but, like, there are a lot of moments in this show where, like with Jamie and Jenny, for example, is a perfect example of, you know, if somebody, like, sneaks up on Jamie, a lot more is going to happen than, like, oh, I'm sorry, you startled me.
Right.
He's going to, like, pull his knife on them. Or, like, you know, I mean, this is a dude who, like, sleeps with a knife under his pillow.
Right.
You know? So, and I also thought that with, like, Claire, like, you know, knocking him out of bed. Like he's gonna, I mean, I always got the sense that Jamie was probably not the heaviest of sleepers. And, you know, at this point, I think he would still be, like, kind of, like, a little more on point in terms of, you know, like it's like muscle memory, you know?
Right.
He goes into a defensive stance a little bit more. Just a little aside.
Good point. He could have knifed her to death, so
yeah. But I mean, I think it's probably just too clunky for the show. Like, you know, if that would happen all the time, whatever. Okay, so they resolve all of that, and then, oh, you forgot the rest?
I know.
Okay, so then it's nighttime, and we're in the Laird's bedroom, and we get the scene of I loved you the first time.
Oh, my God.
How do you forget that?
Because I don't know.
You might as well forget your address.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I didn't take notes when I watched the first time at that point because I was so then I didn't have it in my notes, and I'm just going over this now because I watched, but I stopped just short of that, and that's why.
And for those of you who've not read the books, that's a pretty iconic scene in these books. That's one of my favorite scenes.
I thought you'd be upset
that it didn't happen, like, by the fence or outside or wherever it is.
Didn't they sort of mesh in because there was also the
Yes, you're right. It was a mash.
The whole thing about her face, her hideous face.
Yes, it was a mashup of two scenes.
That meshed in, and I thought, oh, Tracey's not going to be happy that they have just taken to this and kind of.
It was a mashup, but no, it was fine. It was fine.
You loved that scene, and I never liked that.
I did like, in the books, it goes down more as, like, she's afraid to say it because it's a big deal that they haven't said it yet.
Right.
And they actually talk about how, like, neither one of us has said it yet. You know, you go first. No, you. No, you. No, you.
Right.
You know, why don't you want to say it, Sassenach?
Right.
Because if I start, I'm never going to stop.
Right.
And he's like, you know, yeah, you know what? I got all day. Go. And that's how they do it. So it's a little cuter maybe in the book, but it was fine here. It was good. And again, the two of them have, like, great chemistry. I thought Sam was hilarious with, like, the fine round ass wedged in, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I thought it was great. It was great.
And she wakes up and he's not there.
And she's all like, you know, oh, that Jamie, he's probably making me breakfast in bed or something. I'm gonna go find him. And, yeah, no, that's not what's happening. So, we got some dudes. They're holding knives on him. Now, here's the oh, no, I guess they're holding pistols on him. They're not knives. Because he would have taken care of that in, like, no time. They got some pistols on him. And that's it. Fade to black.
Now, is that going... Maybe we'll talk about this off camera.
Okay.
Anything else?
Well, there is... I mean, I can say... Am I allowed to talk about, without spoilers, if there's already, like, descriptions of next week's episode up?
Well, I just realized we didn't have we didn't have one spoiler tonight. You don't have to do any spoiler alerts.
I know, right? It's not that big a deal.
I already have to apologize because I'm doing this the entire time. Carol really shouldn't wear her hair up when we do these.
God. So, yeah, no. I mean, because there is a description for the next episode. So I can, like, and it's out. It's public, so it wouldn't be spoiling anything. To say that I suspect these men are from The Watch, because in the next episode, and people will have probably seen the previews at this point, that Jamie and Ian are forced to join The Watch. And, you know, trouble ensues, I guess.
And I wasn't expecting Claire to see that.
What? Because in the book she doesn't?
I wasn't expecting... I thought for sure Claire was going to think he was next to her, realize he wasn't, wake up, do one of these, look out the window and see them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. See him. Mm-hmm. But it didn't go down that way. Yeah. So very interesting.
It was a great episode. It was really good. Like I said, not a lot of not like a really linear plot or whatever. So anything else? We should thank our friends Blake and Mary.
Oh my God, they're so awesome. We love them.
We had a great chat with them the other day. And that will be out on their site, I believe, at some point.
They're a lot of fun, and if you haven't listened to Outlander Cast, the podcast, you really should. Mary and Blake are awesome, and they have a really neat situation because Mary's read the books and Blake has not. So he's coming at it as a first-time viewer, and she knows what's going to happen. He doesn't, but he's so incredibly into it. So it's a lot of fun to talk with them about their feelings on what's happening, what's going to happen, the book versus hearing Blake's opinion on the show because he hasn't read the books. It's just really interesting. Yeah. And they're super nice people.
Totally fun. We had a great conversation. Blake, we met Blake in New York when we did the red carpet for the premiere because Blake was right next to us on the red carpet and we were the very last two media outlets, such as we are, on the red carpet. So we had a blast. Like, we were the party end. We were the end you wanted to be at.
What did he say? We were like sardines or something?
No, we were like sardines. I mean, the red carpet was like, we told you guys already. The red carpet was like this. But we had, so much fun. The very last stop was, the place to be. They saved the best for last, as I say.
I've said a couple times, I really have to thank Blake because I felt like we were lucky to be near Blake because I felt like they took him more seriously, but he's a guy. There aren't nearly as many guys, Outlander fans.
And he's tall, so they were going to notice him.
So and he's very tall, so they were going to notice him anyway, and he had some fantastic questions and spoke with Tobias about Rome, and he asked the non-Outlander questions that I was afraid to ask. So
he basically stood at the door and wouldn't let them go out until they talked to us.
I don't think it was that bad. All right, anyway, thanks everyone.
So yeah, it's been great. So don't forget to check us out online, myoutlanderpurgatory.com. And on Twitter, our Twitter handle is myoutlanderpurg, P-U-R-G. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram once in a while, but we're kind of lame with Instagram. We don't really do much with it, but whatever. There's only 24 hours in a day, people. And, that's pretty much it. I'm thinking. Do you have anything more to say, Carol? No? Are you going to get out of bed now?
I think they've listened to me talk long enough.
Yeah. We're at 1 hour and 21 minutes, so shorter than last week. Nice. All right.
Getting better.
See you next week. Bye.